Let's go. Y'all gotta do whatever I say. Y'all gotta do whatever I say. Y'all got to. Woo! Listen, guys, welcome to another episode of V N APE. Listen, first things first, before we even get into it.
Yeah.
R.I.P to the man, Fat Man Scoop, bro.
Hey, listen, man, I never met you, bro, but I hope you're doing good wherever.
Big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Growing up in New York.
Yeah.
If you grew up in New York, you've heard.
I've heard that track, fam.
Not this track in specific, but like just Fat Man Scoop was a big part of my childhood. That song is like, and You Got Served. Me and my brother, I seen that shit like a million times. But
I actually never watched that. You Got Served.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
That is a sad. That's like just like a hood classic type shit. But
the movie just looks sus.
Nah, it's a shit.
It looked really sus.
But yeah, R.I.P to Fat Man Scoop. Let's get into it, eh? What the fuck you got, boy?
Bro, I got a business proposal.
That's what I heard before we started. I'm willing to hear this.
And, all right, let me just put it like this, though. There's a lot of freaks out there, right? There's a lot of freaky motherfuckers out there.
Sure.
Right? And so if you could just tap into that market,
okay,
the profits would be immense. Think of it like this, right? Think about my business concept. Basically, what I'm thinking of doing is pimping dead hoes to necrophiliacs. There's a huge untapped market. I mean, think about the effort the average necrophiliac has to go to. He has to find a graveyard, or he has to be really well connected, to the doctor who's going to diagnose the person as dead or whatever. And he has to go through a lot of work and a lot of money. You could really,
that doesn't happen often.
If you could just get right and market this.
That's too hard, Ip.
Bro, let me tell you some of the advantages before you reject this proposal, all right? First of all, you got to give these bitches nothing. These bitches don't need to be fed. They don't need shit. You just got to take care of the body. Make sure it's not rotting too much.
Right.
Some motherfuckers might want bitches that are rotting a lot more.
What's the term called when you if a pet dies, you keep it, it doesn't decompose. What is it called?
That it doesn't decompose?
Yeah, and you keep it
or that it does.
No, that it doesn't decompose and they still keep it it looks like it's in perfect condition, but it's fucking dead.
That just sounds like a memento mori, bro.
No, man, it's a term for that they do that to the animals. A lot of people do that when they hunt.
Right.
And they keep
there's mummification and shit.
It's not mummification. Damn, I know the term, I forgot the spot. Fuck. A lot of people do that, but whatever, keep on.
Who gives a fuck? I mean, what is that?
It relates to necrophilia, my guy.
Look, this is important shit. You're just out here trying to negate the fact that there's a huge market for dudes that want to fuck dead bitches, and these bitches don't charge shit. You don't gotta tip these bitches part of this shit.
It's not a huge market, Abe.
You have no idea how big that market is.
I think that's lower than the trans community.
It probably is, but it could be a very...
Even low,
Do you have any idea how much money a necrophiliac will pay?
That's not even a common disorder. Is that a disorder or something?
Yes, it is. It's one of them, yes.
How common is that in it? Do you got to be a fucking narcissist? What do you got to have? Do you got to have the triple triad, whatever the fuck you call that shit?
Well, it's the ultimate. Think about it like this. Actually,
that's definitely worse than a triple triad.
No, there's a
whatever.
great analysis of this in The Denial of Death.
The Denial of Death?
And it's a book about terror management theory. And basically, I mean, what he was saying is that it's the ultimate way of gaining power over death, right?
Fucking dead people?
Psychoanalytically.
Oh, okay.
Right? Think about it like this. I mean, you are literally fucking deaf, right? It's a whole psychological reversal of the role that death plays over you. I mean, death is always looming. It's always there. It's always possible that it could happen at any second. And here you are saying, fuck you to death.
What type of charge is that called? What would that even be called?
What type of charge?
If you get caught doing some shit like that, what would that even be called?
I don't know, bro. Is there a Stop Necrophilia Act or some shit?
Could be.
Is it a huge problem that we deal with in our communities? All the graveyards are full of semen,
That's disgusting. That's nasty. There's a dude on Twitter, not on Twitter, on IG,
right,
who literally just uploads videos, and I don't know if it's true, that goes to President, what's his name, Lyndon Johnson, some shit like that.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson, and he goes to the graveyard and he just sings songs to the graveyard, like that.
He sings to the dead presidents?
That's
To that dead president?
To that dead president. He'll sing popular songs, I need somebody to match my freak.
Why does he do that?
It's just super based and random. He just uploads different tracks.
Does that get a huge audience?
Oh, it's huge. It's viral. Like, it's everywhere.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with that.
No, the possibilities are endless. There's millions of songs. He could just keep uploading.
I understand
different tracks and just be like shouting at the grave, like just like
the viral nature of it is.
I mean, anybody you get viral of anything.
You understand what I mean? Like, it's not.
There's not much, yes, and like
This is not a career.
I'm sure he's making some bread off.
I'm sure he is making some bread off, but this is definitely like, don't quit the day job based on this shit.
For sure. And we're not. I don't even think it's fucking president. He just says that, so it's just funny.
If you were to go to like different graves, right?
Different people,
like different famous people that have been dead and shit.
Right.
Just
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. But it's specifically President.
Yeah.
Lyndon Johnson.
So what tracks does he sing to these dead?
Oh, he has plenty. The one that I've seen recently was a Tinashe song. Have you ever heard? Is like Tinashe, where it's like, I need somebody to match my freak. That little song, whatever.
And he would sing that to this.
He's singing that to the grave, to the corpse, to the corpse underground,
who can not hear it beneath. Right. Well, even if he were alive, I mean, he couldn't hear it because.
And it's a sensation across the internet.
Right.
The things that people do and get famous for.
So this is like an auditory necrophilia he's doing?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because he's kind of in that community.
It's a way of communicating with the dead.
With the dead.
And if you just want to have a conversation with somebody dead.
I'm sure what would you call it, the necrophiliacs?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're fans of that content.
Absolutely, I would imagine.
That's why.
I'm sure. I mean, that's people are trying to do all types of shit with dead people. You know, like they want to talk to them from the grave, which I call platonic necrophilia, right?
Platonic, okay.
And
nothing too crazy, just having a convo.
Basically, right? Basically.
I mean, we need to do. I mean, you think there's been enough research on dead people? You know what's something I've always seen on Instagram that when a person dies immediately, there's like a certain amount of weight they lose, and that's what they claim is the soul leaving.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I've always seen that shit.
Yeah.
There's always the idea where like or this is common for sure, where people go into the hospital and they see the light. And they've talked to an angel, they saw an angel, whatever the case was.
Yeah, they had a near-death experience.
And there's always that.
Those experiences occur. Although it's not, the light isn't a universal. Some people feel like they went to hell or some shit. And some people
Really?
Yeah, some people have horrific... I think it's comparable. I'm not saying the experience is that similar. I'm just saying that it's comparable, the way they report it, to like DMT reports where somebody has a good trip or a bad trip.
You think it's just like that? Like it's just your mind letting off some shit, and
I think that
whatever you're seeing, there's no connection, there's no real meaning to it, there's no intrinsic meaning. Like
I don't think there would be any. I'm not saying there's no meaning to it. I definitely don't think there's any intrinsic meaning to it.
You don't think there's meaning to dreams?
I don't think it's intrinsic.
It's whatever you put your mind to it. Like if I want to add meaning to it,
it's a subject. You could ask the question, the sort of questions that Jung would ask about dreams, which is something like, what does this say about the person's mental state and how does it relate to their subconscious? Because to him, the best way to study the unconscious, and to Freud as well, was through dream interpretation, because it's the most vivid example of the subconscious acting out. It's the most clear way where somebody can see what's going on there. But I think that the problem is that, for example, some people don't dream a lot.
I haven't remembered a dream in ages, bro.
Right. That happens to a lot of people.
I'll keep it 100 with you. It's definitely because I smoke weed.
Yeah, it's possible that if you stop it, you'll have more dreams.
100%.
I think that's happened to me
before.
My
REM sleep is like, there is none.
But also, I think that one of the interesting things that Jung would do is he noted one time that as he analyzes all these dreams, what tends to happen is as the person tells dreaming...
I don't want to cut you off, but how is he exactly analyzing these dreams? Just people are just telling them off face value, like, oh, look, this is what happened?
Well, they're telling him what happens in the dream.
Right, that's what I'm assuming.
And then he's sort of questioning them. and what they think about certain things and what they think that certain things in the dream symbolize.
We're hoping these people are using good faith and actually telling him the truth. And
I mean, if they aren't, they're only fucking themselves.
over. Okay. Right.
But you can also notice through the way that people react. So this is one of the things that happens in dream interpretation. Jung would say, for example, that like once a person starts having therapy and where they start talking about the dreams, one of the effects that ends up occurring is that they end up having less dreams and they end up having almost no dreams. And
because they're speaking about the dreams they've had?
Through therapy, yeah. He reported that this would happen a lot with clients. Or just having
therapy in general?
He reported that with his clients, this would happen a lot. Oh. That the more that they did it, the less common it would become, and so they would have to rely on the less...
You think the subconscious was conscious?
No, it's not conscious. It's acting automatically. He didn't think the subconscious was this thing that's like you, that it has like this ego and it's, acting out. It's not like a separate person inside of you or anything like that. It's not like
it's part of you.
Yeah, but it's not a thing that's doing something with a specific purpose in mind. Okay. It's not trying to tell you a message or some shit. It's acting the way that it's biologically programmed to act.
Okay.
And that's basically Jung's view.
That's it. Just biologically, that's what it's doing. Yeah. There is no meaning. Don't think of it as like a
what he means by meaning is just what it is that is going on in the unconscious, right? And how that relates to the conscious. So the meaning is a psychological meaning that he's trying to uncover from this, right?
But is there a connection though?
Between the unconscious and the conscious?
Yeah.
Well, one of the other ways that you can examine that is through, for example, things that people have with their emotions, especially people that are really disturbed. So a lot of people are very good at, for example, some bad shit happens or they have something that they don't like about themselves. And so when a thought about it comes up, they feel bad, right? They have like a negative feeling, an emotion, a sensation and shit.
Okay.
And so what they do is they might distract themselves or some shit like that or negate it. Or try to...
And it goes into your subconscious? Try
to pretend to be the opposite in front of other people, meanwhile still feeling...
that
really bad and knowing that you're a facade. And then, that type of shit that people do to themselves. What the fuck was I talking about before that? What was your question?
Is there a connection?
Between the unconscious and the conscious?
Right. And you said the way that Jung...
Well, yeah, part of the reason why there's a connection is because emotions are not something that you are... actively, completely in control of. In other words, you can tell yourself, and like if somebody's pointing a gun at you, you can tell yourself, I shouldn't be scared. This is fine. Everybody dies.
But your emotions could be saying something that's
But you
different.
Can't turn it off. You can't tell yourself, you can't reason yourself automatically. I mean, you can train yourself to reason about things, but you can't train yourself automatically in an instant to be like, I want to feel happy now. I want to feel sad now. That thing comes automatically. If it worked like that, and you had control of it, people would not have depression.
You'd be a sage.
People
right?
would not be bipolar.
A sage, whatever the fuck it's called.
Right, you have complete control over your emotions. Yeah. And so that's just not how people work. And so the fact that you don't control it means that it's controlled from elsewhere. And that elsewhere, unless we're talking about some faith type shit, is basically a part of you that you don't control, which is related to the unconscious. And because it's consistent, it's a psychological phenomenon. In other words, if somebody's scared of rats, you can place a cat, a dog, whatever. If they're not scared of that, nothing's going to happen. If they see a rat, it's going to happen, and they can't control that fear. Right. They can train themselves to lose the fear, but they don't have automatic control of it. So the control of the emotions is coming from somewhere else.
Right. Is there any other philosophers or anybody that has any type of different idea about it, though? That was, like, respected as Jung?
About the unconscious?
Yeah.
I mean, Freud had very different ideas from Jung.
Yeah, but I don't think he's as respected as Jung, right? I mean,
he's talked about
Freud
a lot.
Freud did have some weird ass...
He was the guy that... he was the guy that taught Jung, basically. I mean, it's not like he was his teacher directly, but he was the guy that laid out the foundation for psychoanalysis.
Right,
and so Jung basically just piggybacked off his shit and made his own system called analytical psychology.
Right.
So...
Right, Freud's the guy that invented the whole... was it called, psychotherapy, or just talking to somebody, just like the whole.
Yeah, back then they used to call it like the talking cure.
The talking cure.
Right.
That's funny.
And
nobody did it before him though.
No, people did do it before him, but he was the first one to systematically.
He was like, listen,
developed it and said this is a way that we can treat neuroses, as they used to call it back then, because these guys were neurologists.
Right.
And psychiatry was basically a part of neurology. It was very.
That's what he started as, right?
Jung was a neurologist, as far as I can tell. Yeah.
But then he got into.
Then he's a psychiatrist. No, actually, Freud was a neurologist.
Right. That's what I meant to ask.
Yeah.
He was a neurologist first, and then he got into like.
Yeah. And then he was looking at a bunch of different things.
They connected, so he was like, "Fuck it, let me."
Yeah, he was looking at dream interpretation and shit like that, and it's very.
Were his takes any different from Jung's?
Very different, yeah.
What exactly are his dream?
Well, Freud talked about the drives that the unconscious drives that people have.
Okay.
Right. And the drives that he would come up with are like, for example, there's the drive that has to do with human sexuality, for example, and then
the whole
and
you
later
want to smash your mom or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of those things, and because he did see humanity as sort of evolving through it. Well, not humanity, an individual human evolving through various stages of development, and the final stage of development is just that full-blown sexual stage, right? So you start with like the oral. When you start sucking mom's tit.
Oh, right.
And so that's the main place where you get your pleasure and ideas about life and shit or whatever. You don't really have much ideas about life. You're just sucking a titty. And then later on, you start getting potty trained, and so you go to the anal phase, right? Because it's disgusting, and you find out all these horrific things about your body that you shit. You have this mind, and there's all types of. I mean, everybody says you're cute, but you don't feel cute because you're shitting all over the place, and you really wish that you didn't depend on somebody to clean your feces for you. And so
you're not thinking about that.
That's sort of traumatic once you're old enough to be potty trained and you start wetting the bed and shit, and it's like, fuck, bro.
Right.
And after that, once you hit puberty, you go to like the phallic stage or whatever, and he comes up with terms that have to do with shit like penis envy or whatever. And
that's the shit about your dad, or
that's just and women, right? They have this jealousy of their father, subconscious. It's not like they consciously believe there's some shit like that. That's all cap as far as I can tell.
Yeah, he was. He had to be high off the coke.
He was on coke for quite a while.
Respect.
Anyway, the whole point that I was saying, because you asked me how the conscious and the unconscious are related.
The connection.
And it's like, I mean, well, first of all, you're breathing, and your heart rate is going up, but that's more biological. But in terms of just psychological phenomenon,
there's enough there. It adds something, right? Psychologically,
I think your emotions are great proof.
It adds to your heartbeat because it can't just be your body too.
Positive, negative emotions, just any emotions that pop up to that degree is sort of an interaction between reason and the unconscious.
What else is in the unconscious? We know emotions.
Oh, well, I mean, I think it was Alfred. I think it was Adler that. You gotta understand.
I know. There's things that we like overall in your whole life. There's
Freud thought about the death wish.
You're gonna have thoughts that eventually just suppress to the back of your mind.
Oh, a lot
that just goes into the subconscious, pretty much.
Well, yeah,
they have to go somewhere. You're not thinking about a million things at once. There's like a. You know what I mean? If you
honestly repress them,
and there's things that you're not gonna want to be thinking about,
right?
It'll just add.
Those are so deeply suppressed, the sexual elements, and he didn't think that was abnormal or a problem.
Doing that?
No, that these things are suppressed. He didn't think that was a problem. He thought that was just normal part of human activity. Like you're supposed to repress that, you know.
Yeah.
And some serious
problems.
Unless
you'll go fucking insane. Like you can't just be
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's part of the human condition is having to sort of lie to ourselves about desires that are outside of our control by sort of just eliminating them completely from the part of the psyche that we're aware of.
So dreams would be in it?
Well, dreams are completely just it's sort of like the unconscious giving you a front row seat to whatever it allows you to see.
Right.
But Adler thought about
yeah, you were saying
about the
oh, you were saying Freud, the death wish,
the drive or the will to power. Freud thought about it as well as another the drive, the subconscious wish to die.
To die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is an odd one. I can't really find that one. I think a lot of that was based on his experience when he saw shit going down in World War II.
Motherfucker just had PTSD and was
Yeah, I think he sort of
Freud might be a little fucked in the head, bro.
I mean, that's
he
an
was
understatement.
A genius, sure, but
understatement of the century. Yeah, he was definitely fucked, but
a lot of philosophers.
What great mind isn't fucked? Yeah, I mean, sure. When you think about the great minds,
there's a meme. Not to cut you off. There's a meme that's like that it's like people who study philosophy, and then it looks like these like upheld citizens. They look like super good, like
that.
And then it says philosophers, and it's like some dude stressed the fuck out, smoking a fucking cigarette back to back. Like that's pretty much. But yeah, these dudes were actually living their shit, and like I think it takes like you gotta be fucked in the head to be even thinking on those levels. Like you probably think of so much, bro. Like like it's insane. Like philosophers really use their fucking brain.
No, 100%.
Like to the point where it helped civilization rise and just keep growing, bro.
I mean, so everything as soon as it becomes a science, it stops being a philosophy, but it stemmed from philosophy,
right?
Which is
that's why I don't like the philosophy hate, bro.
I really don't, especially since there's so much modern utility to it. I mean, ethics is not something that you're boiling down scientifically, because even if you were to...
That's always going to be philosophy, bro.
Right, even if you can tell people, like, why do people act certain ways? Why do people make the choices they make? That still would not tell you anything about how people should act. I mean, it might tell you something about how people should act because you have more information, but it won't tell you how people should act because that's...
You still don't have, like, a way to demonstrate it.
Yeah, it's not an empirical... I mean, it's not an empirically answerable question. It's not falsifiable. It's not... And that's... I've been thinking a lot recently because Because the thing is, like, between Nietzsche and the Stoics, there's so much going on in my mind between these two because when I read Nietzsche, you can clearly see the influence that he had on Freud and Jung, which Freud kind of understated, but Jung was much more honest about it. Adler was very bold about it because he talked a lot about the unconscious, drive for power, and that people just want power. And basically, Adler explains, for example, when people get sick, they get tremendous power in the form of attention from other people, and family members show up, and everyone's there. The doctor's trying to help you. All of a sudden, you become a very important person.
Yeah,
and. So
Nietzsche hated a bunch. There's this new YouTube channel I seen. It's just about like philosophers hating other philosophers.
Well, Nietzsche shit on everyone. I mean,
I seen that he put like one about Plato. Nietzsche didn't like Plato. Nietzsche didn't like.
He thought Socrates was
he didn't like Socrates, right? That was another one, dude.
I mean, he respected him in terms of like him just being his own man and shit like that, and carving out his own mindset and shit. But he completely disagreed with his philosophy and shit,
Right. Nietzsche was a existentialist.
Yeah, but one of the reasons why he influenced them so much wasn't just him being an existentialist. It was also that he, for example, and Thus Spoke Zarathustra, there's one time where where Zarathustra is talking about, I think people that are full of like resentment and shit like that, and sort of Christianity and the weakness of it and shit, and the morality that it has is weakness pretending to be strength, with God supporting the weakest first or whatever. But what he was getting at was something like people think that that their minds are the thing that's in control, and it's not really their minds. It's not their ego. They think that their ego commands their body, but really what's going on here is that the instincts that are out of their control, the body itself, all these Christians and shit that have talked so much shit about, neglecting the body and the body being nothing, the soul is the only thing that matters. But Nietzsche was like, no, the body is what matters. The body tells you do this and you do it. The body creates this instinct, then all of a sudden you're in panic. The body is the one that is telling the ego what to do,
right.
And these people want the
not this
ego.
Higher power,
they want power over the ego, but they can't get it, and they get a tremendous resentment out of it. I think he may have been projecting there. But it's also true for the Christian ethos. At least I can't put myself in opposition to what he said about Christianity that way, because it was actually...
Dude, speaking of God,
yeah.
Have you heard of some shit called Pascal's Wager?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I think it's garbage.
Not a good argument?
It is the stupidest shit.
The idea that believing in God is the most rational take.
It's this, listen, if I believe in God...
and he exists, I'll go to heaven. But if I do believe in him, and
he doesn't
exist, nothing would happen.
Nothing bad, right? So it's the safest route.
So it's the safest route.
Right, until you realize that there's a trillion gods you could believe in, and that you have to decide which one to place the wager on. Because if you place it on the wrong one, you're fucked.
Right, there's that too. Yeah, no, I don't agree with it, but I just thought I just learned about it. Like I forgot, I seen a clip of it and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Pascal's Wager. How old was that? That was like a while ago, right?
That was very long ago, fam. Yeah.
I'm like, this can't be a good argument to this day. Yeah, like,
no, it's not.
No, I was gonna say, dude, I think Trump has been like flippy floppy with abortion.
I mean, I'm not...
I know it's random, but...
What do you mean by... Yeah, what side is he flipping to right now?
To more to liberals. You know?
I mean, he has an election to win.
No, 100%.
But yeah, I don't blame him for being flipped. I don't think he's as Christian as he pretends to be.
Or people seem to perceive him as.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah, I think he's more of like a centrist, dog. I don't think he's like. I mean, there's a lot of conservative things he's like doing, like obviously cut taxes, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's like a super hard Republican.
Well, I heard something interesting that he plans to legalize weed.
Hey, I retweeted that.
Yeah,
respect.
Yeah,
nah, I think that's the right steps, bro.
Oh no, it's a great step.
I mean, listen, 100%. Bro. First of all, it's the babyest drug.
I like how he mentioned fentanyl laced weed.
Yeah, he has to. He always brings up fentanyl, but yeah, dude, that's a great step, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sure when he's president, he'll fucking take that shit off the. It's like one of the most dangerous drugs. What's that shit called? The FBI or the.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Forgot that list.
The Schedule whatever drug.
It's like the same as heroin type shit. Like, bro, like we gotta take that off already. Like.
I know. I don't think it's at the same as heroin right now.
They took it off already?
It's not. No, it's not that they took it out, but I don't think it's classified.
Actually, it is. So one of them is. It's as bad as one of these others.
There's different schedules for it.
Whatever the case is,
maybe
they need to legalize it.
I don't fucking know, but
a lot of people have read that that's what the elite want. The elite wants. That's what
they want. What
they want to like legalize drugs.
Oh, they do
because it'll fucking like have people.
They do, yeah, but you can't stop doing what's proper because somebody that
has some evil fucking
because
plan.
Some other asshole wants to do it too,
right?
For different reasons, you know. It's like fucking.
That doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah, bro. It's like you can't really.
Right.
It's not a good idea.
Comes first.
But yeah, the elite would like that. I mean, they want.
You would agree with that.
All types of excess in terms of human behavior. They want to keep people society constantly changing, constantly. It's this idea of a constant revolution.
Right. Dude, I was gonna tell you, I forgot, but my man Lizard Man came through and spoke some truth.
David Icke?
Not David Icke, the other Lizard Man himself.
Who's the other Lizard Man?
My man Mark.
Zuckerberg? Oh, you mean an actual Lizard Man, right?
The Lizard Man himself.
The guy that David Icke's talking about.
Exactly.
Right.
He came out with some truth, dog. I gotta give it to him. I don't know why he did it, but he admitted that the Biden administration pressured him to censor some things about COVID-19.
Really?
On Facebook.
Fascinating shit.
Like, he literally wrote it out. He was like, and he admitted that he was not gonna work with any party during this election. He was not gonna do any of that shit. Like, he pretty much was like an apology letter type shit, and just informing people of what happened.
Well, I mean, I think that's good.
Now,
I'm sure he's gonna get a lot of shit now for the apology because of the fact that
Trump said that if he he said that if he does any shit that to influence the election this year, that he'll send him to prison for life.
Okay, that's some wild shit to say. What the fuck?
He literally said that, though.
What the fuck kind of shit? Yo, Trump be saying some reckless shit.
Oh my God, I was cracking up.
Tell me that's not some reckless shit to just throw out.
It's tongue in cheek though, like,
bro. But
that's his whole like mentality. I know he's president. I know.
You can't be that stupid, bro.
I know, dog. I know. Apparently, RFK said that Trump admitted to him that since that was his first time, like that the fact that he won, that he really didn't expect he was gonna win, that he didn't know how to govern and shit. Like he was. That's what RFK said that Trump admitted. I mean,
when I saw him accepting the nomination after he was elected, it looked like he was like, what the fuck, bro? That happened.
I didn't see. He looked shocked.
He looked like, oh, fuck, bro. I guess I'll do it. Shit.
Yeah, bro. The people were tired of the establishment, dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. That's still insane that this dude that was a reality star / billionaire, just fucking real estate...
Have you ever considered how wild the public perception of this guy is, though?
At this level, yeah, it's insane.
The psychology that people have around him.
There's literally a syndrome.
There's such extremes about him.
No, but I agree. I agree that syndrome shit is real, dog. And I think a lot of people have it, bro. Bill Maher.
But think about what they think about this guy, though. Like
Rosie O'Donnell.
Look. That side, right?
She's OD. Like, she posted a video talking about like, oh, I don't think it was a bullet that hit him.
I mean, they have a personal situation.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck with her, dog.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Yo, that's fucking brutal.
But no. Look, the way people think about Trump on the Trump derangement syndrome side of things is they have this idea that he's this guy who. Everything he's doing
is evil,
is based on his ego and his narcissistic drive to fucking be the best.
Do you think Trump's a narcissist?
Sure.
You don't think that's enough to say?
I don't know. I don't, because I think that the other people in office are fucking psychopaths.
Right. He's not the only one.
And so a narcissist in comparison is an upgrade. Right. So, and psychopaths are better at hiding their narcissism. And he's not very good at hiding it.
Definitely not.
So there's that. But they have this concept of him as this guy who's just in it 100% for the ego. There's zero else going on. He's mentally just does whatever the fuck makes him feel good in the moment. He doesn't give a shit. And then on the other hand, there's this idea of him as... on the right of this God-fearing patriot who's almost a god at this point, right? This guy who is an extremely, valiant, patriotic Christian who wants to do everything possible to save his life, and he's self-sacrificial. It's almost like a Jesus figure.
Who are you? Who is this guy you're talking about? Who are you talking about? Right
That's
now?
Trump. That's what that's what the Christian right sees in him.
Oh yeah, off rip. There is that. There is these there's fanatics, bro.
And neither one of these perceptions makes any sense.
Not at all.
None of this explains Trump.
Yeah, there's people out there that there's more people that love him extremely and hate him extremely than the middle people.
Yeah.
Like he has that fascination, bro. I mean, this is the first time we ever had somebody this out there. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Very eccentric, very fucking...
You might say based.
Very based. The most based president we've ever had, 100%.
I think that's pretty clear, yeah.
100%.
I mean, Andrew Jackson was pretty up there.
The man called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man on Twitter and was just like, dude, this is the president of the United States threatening a fucking dictator that has... I mean, we have bigger shit, I get it, but...
It is a phallic symbol at the end of the day, the bomb.
Oh, yeah, he's got the bigger button, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? RFK, dog. What'd you think, dog? Did we talk about him last time? I don't think we did.
We mentioned it a little bit. The fact that RFK is now supporting Trump. So is Tulsi Gabbard, by the way.
Yeah.
She's also joining in with Trump. I don't know what it means or what the implications are. Other than that, it adds a lot of support for his campaign.
Do you think his if he does win this year, which I really think he's gonna win?
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna be he's gonna govern differently this time? He's, by the way, would be, I think, the second president in history to win once, lose, and then win again.
I don't think anyone has ever done.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was his name starts with an H. something. Damn, I wish I remember that president's name, bro. Yep, it was only one dude. Yeah, he also won, lost, and then won another time separately.
Okay.
Something, was it
how he would govern? Yeah, I think he probably would govern a little bit differently.
You think he's like more sharpened up now?
Well, he's experienced, and he's also not been in office for 4 years.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is not something that happens if to a regularly reelected president.
True. Fam, fucking what who's running the country right now? Let's keep it a buck.
I mean, we don't know.
Is that not the craziest thing ever?
I think it's a whole institution and mess of people.
Dude, Biden has been spotted on the beach consistently.
Yeah.
Like, he's been just... People are just like, oh, shit, is that the president? Like,
yeah.
He's literally just been laying down on the beach, man.
I mean, how do you explain to people that the presidency is not necessarily as important as people think that it is? Like in many ways, because the problem is that you actually can just leave it up to a whole lot of administrators and shit if you want to.
Oh yeah, Nancy Pelosi, Kamala, they run the country. All those other ones, maybe Barack.
No,
maybe.
But I mean his executive, like
his team, his administration.
You pick the advisors that you want for things, and they tell you what it is that is the best decision, because the world is too complex for one guy to be like, you know what, fuck it, yeah. Let's get all the cows and sacrifice them to Moloch.
Yeah, but to see it like that, bro, like to just see it on the news, like your president's at the beach while like the world is just burning.
I think it's the amount of time he's spending on vacation.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's been caught like 3 times already.
I just don't know what the fuck people... I mean, first of all, why has he not resigned already?
That's my point. Like, what?
The man has fucking dementia.
And Comrade Kamala, as my man, everybody's been calling her. Trump, Kamala just did an interview for the first time. It's been fucking months since,
Didn't she sound crazy or some shit?
No, she was, dude, they caught this man, what's her vice president pick's name? Tim Walz, whatever.
Yeah. He
said some shit where he pretty much lied about saying that he was in war, like actively or some shit like that.
Get the fuck out of here.
And the CNN lady told him what's up about it.
Holy shit,
Let me just tell you, bro, deflection of the year, dog.
The man faked being
and then she
a
was
veteran?
like, and then she was like, did you misspoke? That was her question. Like, he brought up, like, oh, you stated once that you said this and that, and then she said, oh, did you misspoke?
Wait, he pretended to be in the military?
Yeah, there's something about it. I want to bring this up because it's actually important. Yeah,
some wild shit.
Watch. I gotta actually play this clip. Yeah, it's actually interesting. I was like, dude, I didn't know that, so I was like, what the fuck? He lied about that shit. Like, so I don't know why. He was like, I wore that uniform for 24 years. I was proud of this country. I don't know why I'm doing a Barack.
What the fuck is that about?
But Barack is like one of the easiest dudes to impersonate.
I think so. Yeah, he's a very simple voice.
The pauses, he always has the pauses.
Fucking very elongated pause.
Supposedly, I think he actually was a National Guard.
Really?
Or like a guard of something. One of those. He was a guard, and then he said, like, if he was like actually out there. I think.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he lied about the level of risk that.
Right. Well, hopefully I'm right, guys. If you guys are listening, I hope I'm right.
You had to clarify that you had said that you and your wife used IVF, but it turned out you used a different kind of fertility in order to have children. And then when you ran for Congress in 2006, your campaign repeatedly made false statements about a 1995 arrest for drunk and reckless driving. What do you say to voters who aren't sure whether they can take you at your word?
Well, I mean, you already told me what they said.
Nah, but I wanted to get the actual,
Anyways, I got
Oh, yeah, it's this one, my bad. I got it.
You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor. My record speaks for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and
politician shit.
I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools and around guns.
God damn, the man did not say anything.
They know who I am. They know where my heart is.
They know who I am. They know where my heart is. It's like, motherfucker, what?
Watch. She asked him again.
The idea that you said that you were in war.
Yeah, did you
misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English, is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on...
Whatever, though. You got it, dog.
God damn.
Man was caught capping. Why would you say some shit
I'm
like that?
going to take a piss real quick and,
we're gonna take a
come
break.
back. That dude is wild.
Tim Walls, you tripping. And them boys are back.
You were just telling me how Schopenhauer fucking hated Hegel
Deeply.
out of jealousy.
Yeah, Mans was not a fan.
Yeah.
Schopenhauer was doing like I believe it was lectures at the same university as Hegel. And
nobody gave a fuck about Schopenhauer's lectures.
Nobody showed up.
This guy's telling you life is shit.
He would actually do it at the same time as Hegel.
Yeah, to try to spite him.
But
it was just embarrassing because nobody would show up to his shit when Hegel was lecturing.
Hegel was the favorite, and he would have the shit packed. And
what a fucking hater, bro.
So yeah, I just
this the guy you want to read?
No, but we gotta give him some respect because he did say that Hegel was writing a lot of, I forgot the term he used, scribbleness. Or he said some shit where it was just pretty much like he was just scribbling.
That he's full of shit.
That he's full of shit, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where, like the way he was like spewing his ideas or whatever was just overly complicated,
unnecessarily,
and it didn't have to be like I said. He was just scribbling and scribbling.
Fucking mysticism.
He was going on and on for nothing. Like that was, and so that was also another reason why he hated him. He just hated his ideas and how he fucking presented them, pretty much. So yeah, fucking Schopenhauer, man, gotta love him, dog. You know. He was right about Hegel, at least, right?
Yeah, I mean. Thing about Hegel is that there's too much mysticism in his bullshit, and even somebody who's ironically mystical as fuck, Marx, judged him on that premise. So we already know that. That's just off the top, bro. Come on now. Now, I've been thinking a lot since we did talk about Camus and this shit. I mean, about the idea that morality is basically just an offshoot of aesthetics. And I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Morality is just an offshoot of aesthetics?
Yeah. I do think that it's basically, it comes down to aesthetics.
Explain.
Well, I mean, I think morality is an extension of what people perceive to be as beautiful, as beauty. And what they perceive to be ugly.
I mean, sure. I agree to an extent.
And so...
Like, if I think that murder is fucking ugly...
Right.
Then I'm not gonna fucking...
It's inherently repulsive to the average person.
Right.
For example, to see somebody be murdered.
Right.
And so that's one element that I think is going on. Another one is just to see it as sort of like in many ways, behavioral aesthetics, right?
True. That's a good way to put it.
And I think that behavioral aesthetics is not a bad term for ethics, to be honest with you.
Behavioral aesthetics.
It's oversimplistic because it just deals with behavior and shit, which a lot of it is just mental instead of just behavior.
Yeah, but it's how we perceive the behavior and what do we think of it and how we...
Right. What behavior should be done and what behavior shouldn't be done.
Right.
And what behavior is beautiful, what behavior isn't ugly.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's a good way of thinking about morality because... there's actually at least some research that backs this up because if you think about the differences between like conservatives and liberals, conservatives tend to have like a greater... sense of disgust. Like they're more easily disgusted by things.
Like, oh my god, the earth is warming up. Like they're just very easily
conservatives, not liberals.
Oh wait, my fault. You said conservatives are more disgust? What do you mean?
They have a greater sense of disgust.
In what sense?
And
regarding what?
Disgust is basically considered, it's basically
like it's just like
an emotion at this point.
Right. something that just aesthetically does not please you in any sense.
They rank higher on measures of disgust when you compare them to liberals. And and I think that's actually one of the greatest predictors of who the person is going to vote for. I think it's so that's pretty interesting.
So they have higher levels of
they experience disgust more.
I'm still confused though. What? Give me like an example.
Because that has to do with aesthetics.
So you think? I see what you're trying to say now. My bad. I'm fried.
I mean, if you find the idea
that
disgusting,
liberals are like more open and more, they're more acceptable to a bunch of cultures, a bunch of LGBTQ.
They're better at getting things that
versus conservatives. They're literally more conservative. They're more like
they're more like watch out with that shit.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So
okay, I agree.
And
I was thinking in the sense where like I don't know why I was like where liberals are more disgusted by like things that are going on, like they're more easily they're more concerned about things that are going on, like the environment issues going on, et cetera, you know what I mean? Like I thought that's the angle,
which is odd, right?
I thought that was the angle you were trying to,
because I think that happens when the left ends up becoming pathological. It ends up becoming a situation where the people that would usually be conservative end up turning to the authoritarian left.
Yeah?
Because Stalin, I'm sure, was someone who felt a deep sense of disgust at a lot of things.
Why Stalin specifically?
Because he wanted to eradicate a lot of people. And felt
great. But isn't that what most dictators wanted?
Absolutely.
Okay, but you said Stalin specifically. That's what I was just asking.
I mean, this is all just speculation on my part.
Right. But that's what I was saying. Like, wouldn't all dictators kind of be?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think Hitler had a huge...
He was like top dog
sense
when
of
it came to that?
disgust at entire races of people. We know...
I mean, obviously, this guy was like, yo, only fucking dudes with blue eyes and blonde hair, and that's it. The rest is like exterminated. Like,
right. His was very aesthetic.
Oh, yeah. He might be the top dog when it came to that.
So he made it very obvious to see the combination between not just, aesthetics as ethics, but also aesthetics as an ethical political philosophy.
Literally.
Pushed to an extreme that was completely pathological.
Right. No, yeah, for sure.
So this is like political OCD.
I don't know. I don't know if can we name others that were, who would be like second? Mao?
It's different because
he didn't have like a specific, like how Hitler was so specific.
Hitler was looking at something as though it was generating perfection in the future.
He thought these people that looked like this were gods, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, that is some next level cult fucking
100%.
This dude was a cult leader at the end of the day, and he just successfully got to that's insane.
And so it becomes very obvious, at least when you look at a guy like that. But I think in general, it is. I do think that emotions are subjective aesthetic experiences because of the fact that they are subjective. I think it's aesthetic. But
no, I agree 100%. Yeah. Behavioral aesthetics, right? For ethics?
Behavioral aesthetics.
That's a good way to put it.
So this is a good conversation for the aesthetic life,
The aesthetic lifers.
And I do think that there's something to be said for it. I don't know how far you can push it, but I do think that in many ways...
Do you think living the aesthetic life is being absurd? Is in a sense,
not inherently.
No. Is there any connection you think could be?
I think any way that you do it, whether it's Christian or not, you're still living an aesthetic life. It's just that the Christian is lying to himself. Not lying to himself, is thinking that his is not aesthetic but spiritual. And
that would be your argument at Kierkegaard?
There's very much. Look at religious architecture and I mean it's full of aesthetic.
Yeah, it's fire. Yeah,
stories that are
when people go
symbolic.
into these big ass churches, these shits look like fucking crazy.
The way the priest dresses, the way design. Ceremonies are done, everything is done.
If it was just a bunch of people like in fucking ripped up clothes like hobos.
See, they do that too. That's the interesting thing, right?
Which ones?
The people that live the ascetic religious traditions.
Okay.
Not aesthetic, but ascetic.
Ascetic, yeah.
And so they deprive themselves of things because they see an aesthetic beauty in something that goes way beyond just the body. The body to them is just something that you use to do the right thing. And what really matters is the mind, which is to say the soul. And doing what's right with that and that they sort of deprive the body to get closer to the soul.
Interesting.
And sort of try to get closer to it, and I think that's completely aesthetic, you know.
Speaking of aesthetics, actually, this is actually one of my notes, so it's funny.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to Brazilian music.
As one does.
And listen, guys out there, if you go check out some Brazilian music, it's so fire. Like, I suggest Marcos Valle. That's my suggestion. But I was saying once I was listening to Brazilian music, I was high as fuck yesterday, right? Like I was like 3 a.m. about to knock out, just like hitting the blunt. And I just got a random thought where I was like, oh damn, Portuguese language sounds cool. Like it does. Like aesthetically, like it was like, oh, this doesn't sound bad. And then it got me thinking of just languages and how they sound compared to others.
I mean, you ever thought about like that? You ever listened to The Girl from Ipanema?
No, what's that?
It's a beautiful Brazilian track.
Oh, I'm telling you, Brazilian songs are amazing, bro.
That one is a serious classic. Like
Banger?
everybody knows it. Yeah, they've like
Classic,
tried
okay.
translating it. Fuck that. The Portuguese version is by far the best.
Interesting. I was gonna say, and then it just got me to thinking, like, first of all, Chinese is like bottom of the list for me.
That shit is garbage.
I'm sorry. Like, that was my other thought. Like, damn, Chinese aesthetically, not it, bro. Like, shit sounds too much, bro. Like,
what about Japanese?
I mean, it's
Japanese
it's a
is
little
different.
It's a little better.
It is better.
It's better.
It has a tinge of either anger when it's a man speaking and
Sure.
and submissive.
Very submissive female, feminine energy, like very, with like a squeaky voice, like
right.
A lot of Japanese people have like, but Japan is way higher than Chinese for sure. Spanish is pretty high up there, bro.
Spanish has to be up there, bro.
I mean, listen, bro, if you've been with a Latina,
bro, I'm telling you, bro, like I will start. I talk to them. Look, even if she was born here, if she's Cuban, bro, like I talk to her. If we're fucking, bro, by the end of that shit, she's gonna be talking in Spanish, bro.
Listen,
she's gonna be talking in Spanish, bro, because
bro,
I'm gonna be talking to her in Spanish, bro, and she is gonna play along,
let me just say,
bro.
Spanish sex talk is maybe like top tier.
No,
like,
it is.
It might be the best one, actually.
Life changing.
Like English is cool. First of all, my argument was gonna be that English is top one. Period.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oof. All right. So anyway,
that English is the sexiest language.
I was gonna say aesthetically it's the best, but for many reasons, and I'll get into it.
Okay, we can do
but that. I was gonna say, like, when it comes to women though, Spanish might be it overlaps. Cause I was thinking like cause I was just high and like thinking like, damn, what happened if I learned Portuguese and I tried like, and I was like, nah, man, like I thought that English just sounded way cooler. There's so many ways to say like to speak English. There's fucking. The one I don't like is the fucking dudes that are in whatchamacallit, the UK.
That English.
That one is like, we're gonna have to cut that one.
It's the accent.
Yeah.
And the terms they use.
And everything. It's everything. Like, it's just, that's the worst one though.
But they ask you for a cigarette, they ask you for a fag.
It's like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, why did you guys come up with that?
Yeah.
And the way they say things, just, dude, I can't even bear
to be fair, a faggot is a bundle of sticks.
Yes. So it's a, yes. But English, bro, the slang, just the way it sounds, I think.
Well, the slang because there's so much English slang in the U.S.
That's what I was gonna say. That's my other argument. There's like, the U.S. is like 50 mini countries. in one big ass country.
Yeah.
With different styles of speaking, different cultures.
That is true. It is I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It is a beautiful language.
It's hard to top English, bro. But when it comes to...
But aren't we extremely biased?
I was going to say that, too. That was going to be my other argument. Like, maybe I'm just being biased, but... damn, I was going to say something else.
And also, like, if you fucked a lot of, like, Latin chicks and because I don't think I've ever fucked an American chick, though. I mean, I fucked a girl that was born here, but not American in the sense
like
of
full blown, right?
Yeah,
right,
like her
right,
ancestors are Latin, bro.
Right. Yeah, that's... I don't know if I have either. That's a really good question, actually. I don't think I have either. But I was going to say another contender for top dog would be maybe, like, French.
Honestly, I gotta be honest with you about French, bro. French sounds like somebody is on the verge of popping out phlegm, but is never quite able to get it out.
Nah, that's more like fucking the Arabs, bro. They do a lot of that. Like, they be going crazy
do that, bro,
with it.
But the French do it in Latin.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
French is way more subtle, though.
It's sort of like making Spanish disgusting.
Yes.
That's French.
For me, it would be English, Spanish, then maybe like Portuguese. And I might say French. I don't know what's better than French, though. What's better than French?
Je suis le modern ape.
He's feel me? Come on, it's kind of wavy, though.
Yeah, merci. Yeah.
Yeah, they say la for the, whatever.
Yeah.
Oui. That's all I know.
Comment ça va?
Comment ça va? What else? What's some other languages?
Other than like the Spanish ones, I mean.
What's contender for top 5? We got English, Spanish, and then I'll put Portuguese third, maybe. Portuguese is pretty wavy.
I mean, you already got a Latin language there.
But that's different, though. Portuguese and Spanish are pretty different.
Yeah, but they have so much in common.
A lot of similarities, sure. There's a lot of...
They both have the same root.
Interconnecting, foundation.
I was going to ask you, what do you think about German? Because I think it sounds fucking horrific.
That is probably one of the scariest. First of all...
It's terrifying,
back
bro.
in the days...
Like the Hitler speeches, bro? Like, goddamn, bro.
Bro, some comic had it... where like a fucking Nazi dude knocks on the door. He's like, knock, knock, who's there? And then just fucking German, like, open the door. We gotta go in. Like, dude, German is fucking... It's fucking vicious, bro.
It's just that also I haven't listened to a lot of German women speak, you know.
And a lot of their words are long as fuck, bro. Like, they have their... And it's hard to translate.
But it has a lot of possible meaning. You know, and
they have more words.
And a lot of creativity can be done with their language to create meaning.
Oh, that's dope, of course.
Which makes it difficult to translate, but also if you're creative, it's a very good thing.
Yeah, but I would say English is the most creative, hands down.
I don't speak German.
Even then, though, like even then, I don't give a shit. Even then, I would still say English is by far because we make words, bro.
That's an aesthetic choice.
I don't know, man. We make the coolest slang. Fucking because you were saying that they have like a lot of words for different meanings and certain things. They get creative. Like, bro, how are you talking about creative? We're not talking about English. We're the most creative. You don't think?
I mean, but
the things we've came up with throughout the years and like how fucking people were talking back then.
That's slang, though.
No, I was gonna bring up Shakespeare. Fucking how the way he was talking and this and that. Like, there's so many levels to it, bro. Like, of English. Like, whatever. That was literally a high ass thought I had, and I was gonna like bring it up, but.
I mean, fair enough.
The aesthetic of languages.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to be said for that, bro.
Yeah,
like, literature as a whole.
Yeah.
And just the way it's spoken, accents, bro.
Idea, like, just everything. The way you like, what the fuck. The way it sounds.
This is why I say that I was talking about behavioral aesthetics because, and I think that's a lot of what I see in Stoicism too.
You think it's that?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't call it that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
at all, but it's what I see and what they recommend for a person, how they say a person should be, how a person should act and think.
Right.
There's a lot of beauty in Stoicism. Which fucks me up because they didn't have an outright... Back then, philosophy really didn't have an outright... You know, it's not like aesthetics was its own field. I mean, it was just like logic.
Right. I mean, there is aesthetic taste.
There is, but it was part of something else.
Sure.
You know,
aesthetic taste was like pretty much having experience, and so much like you're like a tastemaker. You have like the You have the, how do I describe it? Like your taste is well worth. You're talking to an experienced person.
Okay. Yeah.
Someone that has experience in different.
Right,
or connoisseur. A connoisseur in that specific field, I guess, or whatever he's judging.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I understand that.
I aspire to be that, just the highest.
Yeah.
The highest form of that.
Right. I mean, again, that's why I see.
Oh, I got you.
A lot of the aesthetic shit in, or at least the behavioral aesthetics in Stoicism.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the way that they prescribe humans to behave.
You think they had one of the highest forms of aesthetic taste?
I think it's the most beautiful aesthetic taste that I've ever come up with in ethics, yeah.
Interesting.
I've never found an ethical system that could compare.
Wow.
If you know one, let me know.
I'll find one.
Please. I've looked.
Yeah? Okay.
People that come close were the ones that came after...
Stoicism? Epicureans?
No, the Epicureans were there at the same time. But
who was coming after them?
But who was coming after them? I mean, in terms of people that were, like, influenced by them and shit. Like, Emerson was influenced by them significantly.
What's his whole swag?
And his essay on self-reliance is in many ways...
It's different, though?
It's different.
What the fuck is my crab leaf?
Yo, my man, it's to the left of your laptop.
No, this is the weed. I need there's a small one.
You fucking stoner.
There you go with that shit.
Fucking stoner.
Is it like by the chair or something?
You're a fucking stoner.
I am, sir.
Fucking stoner.
You might be sitting on it, bro. No, you're not.
Fuck. Bro, I saw this, That
was bass, by the way.
I saw this one chick over at the what is it called? The
aesthetic bar?
I think it was at I don't know where. She was buying a fucking grab-a-leaf.
Okay.
And she was buying one of those big-ass grab-a-leaf packs. I don't know.
Green packs, yeah.
And she was, like, looking at it, and she, like, asked the lady to bring out the whole, like... all the packs and shit
to feel them
and
up.
She was inspecting that shit.
Yeah, of course, bro.
That's a fucking wine taster or some shit.
That's what the grab connoisseurs do, like myself, my boy.
I was just thinking to myself, like, this bitch is committed to this.
Once someone has reached that aesthetic taste level, they understand that the best...
This bitch was high as fuck
The
already.
best packs are gonna be like...
I'm just saying, she walked in there, this bitch was wearing some fucking leggings with like fucking crumbs from whatever the fuck she ate before.
Oh, God.
You know, I mean, this bitch was ready to smoke some more and do some... I don't know what the fuck she was doing, but she was definitely not working.
Definitely not working. Get a job.
It's just some wild bitches out there.
There definitely is, my friend.
Yeah, bro.
There are some wild thotties out there. Hold up. Dude, we haven't even talked about the Venezuelan gangs taking over.
Shit is wild, bro.
Yo, no joke. It actually is wild.
It is pretty wild, bro. These guys are just taking over apartment complexes.
This is some third world country shit.
And fucking...
Colorado.
Aurora. Colorado?
What the fuck is going on, bro?
Why?
Dude, the governor's a bitch, bro.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Did you ever see the video where it was Christmas time and he dropped like a Feliz Navidad video? And it's probably...
I don't want to see that shit, bro.
No, let me tell you right now, it might be top cringiest video I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life.
Bro. Like, so the pandering was real, brother.
So these guys took over... And apparently the police, the governor, the mayor, a big issue. It's either not real or if it is, there's nothing we can do.
They try to hide it.
They're pretending it's not a thing.
People are trying to seem like the building people are said that it was a building I forgot. Something that was like wrong with the managing of the building or some shit.
They're just buying off time because this shit is blowing up on social media. It's all over the place.
Fam, they're extorting people who live there.
Right, apparently, at gunpoint.
Apparently.
I've seen it.
Bruh, that is incredible. And not in a good way, bro.
Now there's rumors going on, and I don't know if this is bullshit or not. I think there's like a fucking 70% chance that it is bullshit.
The shit you sent me?
They're saying that the Hells Angels biker gang is going over there to Aurora, Colorado
to show them
take
boys.
Care of these guys.
To show them boys.
Which sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, I don't believe it either.
It does sound like bullshit, yeah.
First of all, these dudes have families. They're not going to just throw their life away for something that the government should be handling.
It does sound
Come
sus.
on, dog.
Yeah.
Listen, if they are, more power to them, bro. Listen, somebody's got to do it, right?
First of all, that's going to end bad.
Oh, no, 100%.
Second of all, I wouldn't even be surprised if the governor or whoever stops the biker gang because he's scared that something bad is going to happen, blames white supremacy, and keeps these guys up there running these buildings.
The governor said that I think he feels that somebody sent them there or whatever, like the FBI or some shit. He said some shit like that.
The FBI sent who where?
These migrants there.
That the FBI sent the migrants there?
Yeah.
The governor said that?
Yes, sir.
Why?
I have no fucking idea.
Is the governor...
Watch, I'll show it to you.
Like trying to shoot himself in the head with this? Like,
no, yeah, I don't know where he's going with that, but he literally said that. Watch. I'm like, I don't think... Let me see, governor...
That's an odd flex.
He was on Fox News, bro.
Not only are there fucking illegal immigrants running over buildings in the place I'm taking FBI, over, yeah. But the FBI sent them too, bitch.
Hold up, Governor, Colorado, Venezuela. See if it pops up like that.
Fucking bullshit.
Oh my god, this is the first clip that popped up.
Bro, take that shit out.
It's the first clip that popped up when I searched it up. When
bro.
I was trying to find what I...
To profane the pod with that bullshit.
Jesus Christ, bro. That's the only clip that keeps popping up.
Fuck, bro.
Holy moly, bro. Is that people troll that shit, bro?
Bro, that was worse than watching those fucking, like, gore videos, you know, like that is...
That added more PTSD, for sure.
God damn.
Colorado, Governor, Fox News.
Bro, you know, an interesting thing...
Go for it.
I don't know if I've told you, but, like, you know, sometimes I fall asleep watching World War II documentaries.
That's based.
And you would think it's not the most relaxing way to fall asleep.
Oh, it's easy.
But the problem is that it's extremely relaxing for some reason. I mean...
Dudes that were dying for their fucking...
Because I am completely in the comfort of my couch and just thinking, God, my life is amazing. Especially in comparison to what I'm seeing. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, such deep gratitude to fall asleep to. I think everybody should practice that. You know, they always tell you practice gratitude. And when I hear that, I think put a World War II documentary on, you know? Watch these poor fucks getting slaughtered and think to yourself, God, I got it good.
No, trust me, I hear you, bro.
And that's a great way to live, let me tell you. Always reminds me of that saying from Epictetus, you know, that the person who is, you know, satisfied, content, happy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is not the person who has a lot of things that he desires, but the person who has few desires, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point, you know, it's a valid point, right? And
dude, I couldn't find it. Maybe I was wrong.
Well, I think you should give up. Is what I think. I mean, first of all, you're doing. Let me just help you out here, right? Because you're a fucking stoner.
Man. I think the listeners know that by now.
The issue is, well, if they're stoners, they probably forgot by now.
Yeah.
So the issue is this: you're on your goddamn phone trying to look for something.
Yeah.
But you were initially trying to roll some weed, right?
Yeah,
and so you were holding a grabbly for 5 minutes. You probably forgot you were holding it while you were searching that shit on your phone. You're already high as fuck. You're putting more weed in there.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to just continue this phase. You're wearing the fucking Kanye future homeless man kicks or whatever the fuck they are. Those are like
we could call it that.
Those are like sandals, made to be worn by a gay demon or some shit. I don't know what the fuck those things are.
I respect the roasting though. What was I gonna say? Dude, not for nothing. There's astronauts right now that are stuck in space.
I know it's fucking wild, right?
Why?
There's so many movies about this type of shit, right?
That would have happened or whatever?
Yeah, just movies about horrible death in space. There's something terrifying.
Art always imitates life, bro. Reality.
Yeah.
It always happens, bro.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I hope it goes well for those guys. Good luck out there.
I think Elon said he's gonna try to.
I'm sure he will.
But how the whatever, dog? I don't know.
I hope it goes well, bro.
Dude, that's scary as shit.
But didn't that already end?
No, I think that's still a thing. I just heard about that like a day ago.
I heard that people giving Elon credit for it or some shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I heard that he's gonna try to help or whatever, but whatever. Let's see.
Anyway, I'm just thinking about that because...
Dude, before you get upset, the Taliban just banned homosexuality.
Get the fuck out of here, the Taliban? No way.
Yeah, they did.
Holy fuck, bro.
They officially did, dog.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know. Take it easy with the uproar, dog.
Who would have imagined that the Taliban was not full of progressives,
Out of all people, right? Dude, did you see this video where... I thought it was a good question. Has hip-hop done more harm than good?
I did see that video, yeah.
Where Joe Budden's podcast, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I was bored and watching it before eating and shit. And what do you think about that? Just a question in general. Do you think hip-hop has done more harm than good?
I mean, if I were to just give you my basic answer subjectively, I would probably say yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. But the reason is not because of the music genre itself.
Okay.
It's more so the content.
Right.
The direction the content went in.
Dr. Umar's point was like that regarding the content aspect of it, that it just inspires these young guys to try to be gangsters.
It does do that.
Overall, maybe.
Yeah, that's a general theme. That's like an archetype of hip hop, if it has any.
That's like Young would say, that's definitely one of the. You could be one of those archetypes.
Yeah, like, if you were to
gangster rap, being a gangster is like probably top 3 archetypes.
Getting bitches.
That kind of comes along with
That's another archetype.
That comes with that one, though.
I'll give it to you, though, that the archetype of getting bitches is not as originally just a hip-hop archetype, because that's pretty much like the famous musician archetype, right? That you can just
He just happens to get bitches because he's a famous... Yeah.
But it's not something that is... See, the difference between hip-hop and the other genres is that in the other genres, it's not... every track that you're hearing the guy brag about how many bitches he gets.
That's the thing, is that hip-hop is a braggadocious genre.
Right. So
that's mainly that's like...
Yeah. Would you say narcissism is an archetype of hip-hop?
For sure.
Would you say psychopathy is an archetype?
Psychopathy? Which is,
I don't give a fuck about anyone. I'm getting my shit, and it's fuck you and fuck the world.
Yeah, but not aesthetically, yeah.
And in what sense, no?
That a lot of people are not living like that. So it's more, yeah, aesthetically. The content, sure, maybe. How it sounds and but...
Oh, I'm just talking about the content.
Then, yeah, a lot of it is definitely... The attitude is definitely that a lot of the times, for sure.
Would you say that it's Machiavellian?
Yeah, to some degree. That's the thing, though. It's like, I'm trying to put a percentage to it. It would probably be
because if it's all 3, that's literally the dark triad. Which is the fucking psychology of evil.
Raw fucking...
And you would have just admitted that this genre of music is
the triple
encapsulated in pure evil.
Right. I didn't say... I said that... all genres do, though, if you think about it.
Well, I'm asking if it's basically a theme to the point where you would label it an archetype at that point, right? Nope, don't backtrack on me, motherfucker. You already gave me a lot.
It has a lot of that, so I'm not gonna backtrack.
They're general themes, is what I'm saying.
Okay, we could say that then. Sure.
I'm not saying that hip hop is all that.
Right.
Or that there's not like good music in hip hop. Of course there is. That's
100%.
That's not the point.
Yeah, 100%.
The point is whether or not there's some bad general themes. And
100%.
Bad, I mean like bad morally, right?
Well, I wouldn't say it's bad morally.
No, murder is perfectly fine.
So you would say that movies are bad?
I don't think that movies and the musician promoting himself as an actual murderer are different, because the actor is playing a role and everybody knows that. The musician, it's much more ambiguous in hip hop. We both know that.
Yeah.
They want to be considered hard. A lot of them are actual murderers.
Sure. I agree.
So this is a completely different scenario.
Yeah, but then you're kind of being a hypocrite, because then you can't say that. But my question was, you said the actor. I said, well, is morally the movie bad then?
Is the movie morally bad?
Yeah.
No, I don't think the movie's morally bad.
So you think the songs are morally bad if they have those themes?
No, I think the artist is is often a morally bad person. I'm not saying that look, the reason why I mentioned this, that's actually a great question, by the way.
Okay.
That's actually excellent. Because the comparison between movies and hip hop is that they're both forms of art.
At the end of the day.
And so at the end of the day, if you're going to judge the content of one, why not
be that with the movies?
Right, why not shit with it in a different art form? I think part of the issue is that.
But you have a good point as well as the actor thing, as like the actor's playing a role where the artist, it is ambiguous. You don't know 100% if he's actually done these things he's saying in his music, or it's just the character, or it's just the persona.
That's a difference. But then when we ask whether or not the content itself is bad, then why wouldn't the content of a movie be bad?
If it has the same theme, but it just right, it would have that.
Like if a movie glorifies murder, which happens in movies often.
Every movie,
like every action adventure movie, is just a motherfucker murdering 28 dudes.
Yeah.
But usually in those movies, the person is a good person who's trying to get rid of evil.
Depending, but most of it, yes, it has that.
And then in the other ones, when the person is evil, it's often clear that the person is evil. Mm-hmm. And it's not something that's sort of flexed in the film. It's something that's made to disturb people as to how evil this person is.
I mean, there could be all type. Whereas like Dexter, he's a fucking psychopath, but he's killing people.
Yeah.
Who are doing bad things morally.
Right, he's taking the law into his own hands.
A vigilante.
Right.
Exactly. So there's also that, which is, it can get complex. It all depends on the film's content and what it is.
But the message in hip-hop is usually different. It's usually, I'm a birder, and
it just happens to be that.
And this is badass. Right. Like, this is the shit. This is the best. This is great. I get bitches.
Well, their argument would be that I'm writing what I'm going through. If it happens in my community, then I'm just like a news reporter. I'm just reporting what I've seen, what I've been through, things that happened to me.
But a lot of times they don't say that. A lot of times what they end up saying is, no, I'm really about this life. Like right now. I mean, like this is what I'm doing, bitch. Like you come close to me, I will fucking murder you, bitch.
Nah,
don't fuck with me.
Not to an extent.
That is 100%
to an extent, Ape.
A common theme.
I'm not saying it's not, but there's a lot of rappers that are clear and like conscious of it. Like, yo, this is. You know what I mean? I'm just writing about things that have happened.
But a lot of rappers are also.
Nas isn't out here like, yo, I'll put a cap in you. Like he's.
No, Nas is not.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I admit that Nas is not.
Nas will be a perfect example.
Again, this is not an absolutist thing.
Right.
In the beginning, we established already, right, that this is not something that, fucking hip hop is universally, encapsulated in this to the point where, every artist is like this. That's not what it is.
And not to cut you off right quick, and Joe said a good point too, whereas like he doesn't believe that hip hop should bear the responsibility of like
other people's actions. Of course not.
You know what I mean? So okay, just to get that out there.
But I don't think hip hop can bear any responsibility. It's a fucking idea.
It's an idea, right? Okay.
So I don't know what the fuck he means by that.
But in the sense where like, because to Dr. Umar's point, where like, did it do anything good for it? Like that shouldn't matter. What he was just trying to say. That's all I'm saying. I think his point was that regardless if it did something good or bad, that shouldn't have to be like you shouldn't have to weigh on. Like it doesn't matter. Hip hop's an art form. It's like
I really don't think that the idea of hip hop being intrinsically good or not even intrinsically, just good or bad in terms of how people want to judge it. I don't think I think it's a kind of a ridiculous judgment in a way because of the fact that
art shit, bro. When it comes to
no, I mean, even if you were to judge, like, the hypothetical impact, right? Like, if people were exposed to hip-hop versus not exposed, what difference would it have made, et cetera, all that shit. Yeah, it's true. At the end of the day, people are responsible for their own fucking actions. You can't place it on a fucking song that you heard.
Right, exactly. But it is a good, like,
so I agree with that.
It's a good philosophical convo.
But I do think it's been pushed to a degree where it's just uncomfortable how fucking...
See, but that would have to go into the labels now and then pushing the music.
No, but I actually do have a problem with these fucking labels for, like, trying to make it... Like, there's so much shit that you could be rapping about. Like, a motherfucker could be rapping about... You know what I'm saying? Being a man that takes care of business.
But it's not about what they're rapping about. It's that they're signing the people that are rapping about shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. Just making sure. So it's probably the people that they're signing.
They're fucking signing people on purpose for specific, like, reasons and shit. I mean, it's not a...
Did you see the Breakfast Club interview with Lear Cohen?
No.
It was actually a good convo at this point.
Who's this Cohen guy?
He's the owner. He's like the head of YouTube Music.
Okay.
He's worked with different various hip hop labels and he's big in the hip hop industry.
Coughing, fucking stoner.
My bad.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Charlemagne asked him a pretty philosophical question.
Yeah.
And I'm not Charlemagne's cool for the most part, but it's kind of based.
He's very based.
Yeah. He asked him. Go.
I'm sorry, before I forget, bro. I remember one time he was talking, and Angela Yee, she got disgusted at this.
What?
Because one time Charlemagne was talking about, just shit that his uncle told him.
Oh God.
That he would end up doing as an adult, like once he becomes
grew up.
Once he grew up and shit. And he was like, my uncle used to tell me I was gonna suck the fart out of bitch's ass.
Oh my God.
At first I thought, hell no, I ain't gonna do that shit. The fuck you gonna do that shit? I don't do that.
Dude, Charlemagne.
And now I suck the fart out of a bitch's ass. And then she had to ask him, you really do that? He'd be like, hell yeah. And she was like, that is disgusting. And
fam, he told that to J-Lo, that he was gonna
suck the fart out of her ass?
No, smell her seed after she left and shit.
I mean, I respect that.
He's based though. Anyway, Charlemagne asked Lear Cohen about, because this dude signs people.
Yeah.
He also had a label called 300. 300, 300, just, and
wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. And he asked him, would you sign a guy if they had a pill problem? If there was, because there was I think there was something that went on about but whatever. Point is,
if he says no, I can almost guarantee he's lying.
He didn't say no. He kept it a buck and said, I got a family to feed. I gotta no, he kept it 100, dude. I was like, oh.
I think he's already rich as fuck. What you mean you got family to feed, fam?
He's got
you got a private jet you gotta buy.
He's like, I know this sounds opportunistic. That's how he kind of talks.
Yeah.
But I got a family to feed. And he was just saying shit like that.
That's cap, bro. Come on now.
Nah, that's what he was saying, dog. So
no, I'm saying, but he's capping, bro. Come on, bro.
I thought that was kind of
unless you're a flop at what you're doing, bro. I don't think you're there because you're a flop. You're already at the very least you're.
No, trust me, that man is established, bro. There is.
So I don't know what the fuck he's going on about.
Yeah, he's not worried bro. He is fucking fine.
A family to feed, they're gonna fucking starve if you don't sign the pill popper.
I do want to actually put up the tape just so I don't conscrew his Lear Cohen. Because it was actually a good question. I was like, damn, that is a good question.
But I got a family to feed shit is...
Oh, look, because now I get more context that they were asking about promoting drug use in the music.
Yeah.
And then that's when... I'll put the clip now.
Particularly on women. But I think it helped change the course of the crack epidemic.
I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
They're talking about opioids.
That's cool you back then. Being a crackhead wasn't cool. Now it seems like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and.
It's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing, our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Oh, it's about promoting. My bad. Not a pill popper.
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
I don't think that's hypocritical though. You're saying
it's opportunistic.
Yeah.
I got the family to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Dame Dash calls him a culture vulture all the time.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him.
Damn.
So you bring his name up.
Whatever. He knows exactly who Dame Dash is, but
bro, that's the dude that be making motherfuckers like strip before he gives them a contract.
Type shit. That's the vibes.
He has them by the balls, bro.
But it was actually a good question. Like, dude, you promoting drug use, but you're like so-called worried about it. Mm-hmm. It's like it is kind of hypocritical. I would give Charlamagne that, but
I just don't think that he
said talents versus issues. You can't give up on people. You gotta respect that too. You don't, you know.
No, I just don't think that it's. I think that the preferences are in many ways manufactured. Like if you put a beautiful beat over shit and
it happens to be about drugs,
and a motherfucker flows real good to it, you can make a lot of shit seem sexy. You can make a lot of shit seem appealing. All right. It's just that a lot of energy has been placed towards making lean and shit like that seem appealing.
I would say that you're wrong, and I would say that there's more aesthetic to certain things that we talk about in songs.
Okay, so drug addiction is aesthetically pleasing.
Drugs and music are they've always been linked together.
Artists have taken a lot of drugs, yes.
I think drugs and music has always been linked together.
I understand.
So it's kind of a hard, it's hard to disconnect
the two. Being
a
drug addict.
I'm not saying that. I never said about being a drug addict. I just said.
But a lot of rappers are.
The
talking
artists.
About it.
Right.
Right.
No, I'm not arguing like what the the current scene is. I'm just saying
like even Future had to clarify in an interview that he's not a drug addict.
My argument, what I just said, is not saying that what these guys are doing is like. Well, I'm not gonna hold up now because I got to think about my thought now because I feel like I was gonna say something wrong because I don't know if I mean, regardless, anybody can make music however they want. That's how I feel, even if it's talking about bad things.
Sure.
If it sounds good, I think that's all that matters.
I mean, if it sounds good, I mean, yeah. First of all, even if it sounds bad, like to me, I don't give a fuck. Like you can make whatever music you want.
Right,
like,
right. On some moral shit, of course. I think that. Now I'm trying to backtrack and remember my point. We were talking about. Fuck, I had a good point too. Fuck.
But just the promoting the drug use.
The drug use.
Like, I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be that.
Oh my god! Before I forget.
Being a drug addict is not inherently aesthetically pleasing.
Okay, and before I forget,
in fact, it's unpleasing.
My argument wasn't even that. My argument was that there are certain things that are more that sound aesthetically better on certain songs or whatever.
Sure.
That was just my argument.
Yeah.
But you were saying that anything would.
I'm saying that being the drug fiend is something that.
Oh, I agree.
Is first of all not aesthetically pleasing. Second of all, it has to.
Well, that's subjective. That's to you, obviously.
No, I mean to most people, that's just not aesthetically pleasing. They might enjoy the song.
Yeah.
But the idea of a drug addict, when a drug addict is next to you and there's a fucking coke fiend or whatever next to you, that's not aesthetically pleasing.
The consumer doesn't care about that. I'm
not saying they care about that. I'm saying that like
you're saying the aesthetic of it
is. In order to associate something that's aesthetically unpleasing with pleasure, you have to put it in an aesthetically pleasing context, which is to make a beautiful beat, to make basically what amounts to a poem that has a beautiful flow going along with that beat.
What does the drug addict have to do with the product?
That you're manufacturing an incentive for it, right? I'm not making a moral claim. I'm trying to make a claim about what's going on. That they're manufacturing something that's aesthetically unpleasing to associate it with aesthetic pleasure. which is something that music can do and does.
I mean, labels are gonna if that's what makes money, then sure, then yeah, of course, Ape, I agree with you.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be that in order to make money. I mean,
then that's when I said my argument that there are certain things that, but I'm not saying that doesn't say that. I'm not saying that the drug addict raps or music is that. I'm just saying there's some things that are certainly more aesthetically appealing. People just like certain things, certain topics, certain things more than others. What can we agree with that?
Sure, but I just don't think that
overall,
of course, of course there are average things that people prefer.
Right. So it's gonna come down to a certain amount of things that preferably you probably want to rap on about.
Yeah, but the drug addict one is an odd one, don't you think?
We all take drugs, right?
No, we don't all take drugs. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just talking shit, bro. I'm just talking shit. But, yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not a fucking label owner.
Me neither.
So I don't understand the pressures of that and shit. And, like, listen, I get him. He did kind of sound pretty slime ballish.
He was being fake, and then he got called out.
I know. Charlemagne got him, and then that's why I said it was a good question, actually. Yeah. Like, he got him there. And
he did.
And it sounded slime ballish, dog. And I was like, damn. Like, so... But I get it though, dog. We're not label owners, dog. That there is some pressure though. This guy's he's gonna make you a bunch of money. This is your job, but it happens that and that's a deeper conversation. Like why does it look like they're only hiring people that are promoting like bad shit? That's like a whole other fucking. I mean, Twitter would say it's the Jews, but whatever, dog. You know.
Twitter says everything is the Jews now.
Dude, the current trend is about the Indians, apparently.
What the fuck are the Indians doing?
There's some guy that's in the UK that's been getting banned consistently, that he's been like on a spree of like Indian, like just trolling them to the point where the Indian news literally had this man on the news. Like they were talking about his tweets.
Is this some guy that like ranks on them and says they're disgusting and shit?
Yes, all type of shit like that.
Where they be making memes where
where there's a guy like taking his shit. The Indian Space Nation or whatever. And he's like floating, taking a shit.
I'm sorry, but that was genius.
Comedy, dog. Yo, my man got banned like immediately. Dude, the news was talking about homie, dog. Yo, they were upset, bro.
Dude, that was some boss level shit, bro. That was incredible.
Motherfucker's bio is like, independent journalist, free speech advocate. It's fucking crazy. But yes, dog. I think his name is Barry Stanton.
Really?
Yeah, that's the guy's name. I think it's a wrap though. I think they banned him like 4 times. I think it's a wrap now. Like he really can't come back.
After that one though, bro, like he really should. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, the meme came up from the idea where like they think that like people think that Indians don't know, like they don't know where a toilet is, like they don't know where
they just hygiene.
They just shit anywhere. Yeah. So like it's base, bro. Oh man.
Fucking wild, bro. I'm basically just staring at you getting increasingly higher.
Yeah, we potted for a while already though. We potted for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, let's just chop it up. All right, guys. Till next week.
It's been an honor.
It definitely has. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
Peace.